Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2018 Honorary Awards Ceremony for the TSA. The presentation will begin shortly. Please find your way to make it to your seats. The presentation will begin in about 10 minutes.
in my headlight, and there's nothing I can do about it. All I know is it feels right. Oh, and as soon as I touch down, I'm coming right home to you. Gotta be with you tonight. Oh, light the candles on the fireplace. Crystal glasses filled with Chardonnay. Smell the scent of you all in the air. It's leading me straight to where you are. I'm just gonna follow your heart. Wherever you are, I know there's love. I just wanna fall deep in it. Love with no limit. Love with no limit. Wherever you are, I know there's love. I just wanna fall deep in it. Wanna fall. Love with no limits. Yeah. Love with no
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. We would ask at this time that you silence all electronic devices and stand as the TSA Washington Dulles International Airport Color Guard presents the colors and Physical Security Assistant Richard Glenn performs the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night, oh, that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Please welcome to the stage Masters of Ceremony, Supervisory Transportation Security Officer, Janae McCants, and Section Chief for Human Capital, LEFAM's Business Management Office, Sandra Masso.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Janae McCants, and it's my pleasure to be one of your MCs today. Today, we are honored by the presence of Norman Mineta. For those of you unfamiliar with Secretary Mineta's background, I will share a few highlights. Norman Y. Mineta is the longest-serving secretary in the history of the U.S. Department of Transportation. He is also the first Asian American cabinet member in the history of the United States, serving as the Secretary of Commerce in 2000 under President Bill Clinton and Secretary of Transportation from 2001 to 2006 under President George W. Bush. Of special note today, Secretary Mineta guided the creation of the Transportation Security Administration. Because of the Secretary's leadership, the TSA quickly developed into an effective agency that restored travelers' confidence in transportation security following 9/11 terrorist attacks. The TSA was transferred to the Department of Homeland Security on March 1, 2003. From 1975 to 1995, he served as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, and then Representative Mineta was known for his dedication to the people of his district, for consensus building among his colleagues, and for forging public-private partnerships. Secretary Mineta and his family were among the 120,000 Americans of Japanese ancestry forced from their homes and into internment camps during the World War II. After graduating from the University of California at Berkeley, Secretary Mineta joined the Army in 1953 and served as an intelligence officer in Japan and Korea. While in Congress, Mineta was the driving force behind passage of H.R. 442, the Civil Liberties Act of 1988, which officially apologized for and redressed the injustices endured by Japanese Americans during the war. In 1995, George Washington University awarded the Martin Luther King Jr. Commemorative Medal to Mineta for his contributions to the field of civil rights. Please join me in welcoming Secretary Mineta. Also at this time, please join me in welcoming TSA Administrator to the podium, David Pekoski. I'd like to invite Administrator Pekoski and Acting Deputy Administrator Cogswell to stand for the presentation of awards. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the awards presentation portion of the ceremony. Although each winner is deserving of our individual congratulations, please hold your applause until the end of each category. Core Values Award. Our first presentation is the Core Values Award. This award recognizes an individual employee or team for visibly demonstrating the TSA core values. Integrity, respect, and commitment are defined. Integrity recognizes TSA employees who maintain the highest standards of conduct. They are dedicated professionals acting with conviction and honesty. As individuals and as teams, they hold themselves accountable for results. Respect recognizes TSA employees who respect the Constitution, the law, and the traveling public. They value their colleagues, partners, and stakeholders. They demonstrate compassion and strive for excellence in all their actions. Commitment recognizes TSA employees who are committed to the security of the public as they vigilantly carry out the mission entrusted to our agency. They are motivated to continuously improve the way they support our organization. This first team to receive the Core Value Award is a group of dedicated supervisors. On 2 occasions, this team was short-staffed for an extended period of time, forcing them to manage their own teams and internal deadlines and requirements, while simultaneously ensuring that the Business Management Office met required deadlines. This team of supervisors assisted as the primary BMO tasking POC on a rotating basis and went above and beyond the expected service level. The Team Core Values Award recipient is the Business Management Office Management and Logistics Branch Leadership Team from LE FAMS. The team members are Sue Daly, Scott Fleming, and Courtney Hasbrook. We invite the team to the stage at this time. Our next Core Values Award recipient displays the TSA core values of integrity, respect, and commitment daily. She recently displayed these values tasked with putting on a safety fair at Kirksville Regional Airport. Putting together this fair required her to work with various internal and external stakeholders. She even worked through facility issues, including a leaky roof, to ensure a successful event. The individual Core Values Award recipient is Judy Delaney from Security Operations at the Kirksville Regional Airport. Our next recipient of the Core Values Award is a team that held 345 engagement and outreach events with TSA's 45-member Disability and Multicultural Coalition, including individual meetings with many of the 2,500 travelers who filed discrimination complaints as a means to successfully de-escalate and informally resolve matters 99.9% of the time. Through this outreach and engagement, this team helped travelers be better prepared for screening and strengthened the workforce ability to successfully execute screening in complex situations, such as religion, transgender, race, and disability through passenger support specialist training and on-site training at 5 Category X airports. The Team Core Values Award recipients are from the Disability and Multicultural branches of Headquarters Civil Rights and Liberties Ombudsman and Traveler Engagement Organization. The team members are Teresa Anderson, Julie Barami, Susan Buckland, Stephanie Chow, Yvonne Coates, Sina Foster, Robert Grimes, Tracy Hall, Jacqueline Hubbard, Supriya Raman, Harlan Singh, Corbin Stewart, Marie Trottier, Kathy Troxler, and Keisha White. We invite the team to the stage at this time. Our next recipients of the Core Values Award is a team that demonstrated true passion and dedication for improving our workforce and our agency. They developed a cyclical process to review threat image projection or TIP data in order to set a baseline for improving image interpretation. They developed a training cycle to address specific weaknesses identified and then worked with various stakeholders across the agency to brainstorm ways to increase officer image interpretation threat detection. The Team Core Values Award recipient is the Expanded Threat Image Projection Capabilities Team from Security Operations. The team members are Barbara Ashcraft, Mallory Davis, Sean Deeks, Alicia Hager, John Jackson, Vashandra Lewis, Chris Stoop, and Robert Walker. We invite the team to the stage at this time. Our next recipient of the Core Values Award category is an individual who maintains the highest standards of conduct as a dedicated professional who acts with conviction and honesty. She was recently recognized locally for her perfect attendance, supportive payroll, and she was formally recognized in our local leadership spotlight DHS Leadership Year, Serving People, Serves Mission, as a model officer who consistently goes above and beyond expectations. Last year, she was recognized as the TSA 2017 TSO of the Year Award. The individual Core Values Award recipient is Nazreen Fazal from Security Operations at the Philadelphia International Airport. Our next recipient for a Core Values Award is an excellent example of someone that demonstrates respect and care for others. She is currently responsible for overseeing and handling all new hire staffing and assessments for LAX and 4 other spoke airports. Her team is so well organized for Orientation Day that her leadership has verbally complimented her on the team's efficiency and how well the new hire officers present themselves. The individual Core Values Award recipient is Renee Hillman from Security Operations at the Los Angeles International Airport. Our next recipient for a Core Values Award demonstrated commitment to the organization by ensuring that her motivation and actions always took into consideration the needs of TSA. She exemplifies TSA core values of integrity, respect, and commitment. Her oversight has been critical to the successful implementation of a new training and development outreach program. The Federal Security Director Training Advisory Group, the Standard Form 182 being added to the Online Learning Center, and her establishment of a strategic communication unit within the Training and Development Front Office. The individual Core Values Award recipient is Amy Koenig from the Enterprise Support, Training and Development. Our next recipients of the Core Values Award demonstrated integrity, respect, and commitment by coming together to ensure that William P. Hobby Airport and Jack Brooks Regional Airport employees affected by Hurricane Harvey were provided information and assistance in rebuilding their homes and livelihood. Even though their offices were devastated, they tracked each affected employee and remained in constant communication with them to answer any and all questions. There was no task too great or small for this team, even in the aftermath of a natural disaster. The Team Core Values Award recipient is the Mission Support Team from Security Operations at William P. Hobby Airport. The team members are Cassandra Andrews, Keith Lauritano, Catherine Lutz, Damian Gwynn, Carlos Perales, and Helen Williams. Accepting on behalf of the Mission Support Team is Keith Lauritano. Our next recipient of a Core Values Award is routinely the first person to arrive at the office each morning. He approaches responsibilities with a steadfast work ethic to achieve results-driven accomplishments in a fast-paced environment that positively impacts the law enforcement, Federal Air Marshal Services, LEFAMS, and TSA. For over 4 years, John has led a dynamic team that has had visibility into all LEFAMS elements, as well as administrative and executive secretariat taskings. Due to the superb job that he has done managing his team, multiple program officers have requested that he assist with implementing a similar tasking structure within their organizations. The individual Core Values Award recipient is John Montero from LEFAMS. Our next recipient of a Core Values Award is a team whose dedication and commitment to the TSA core values was evident during the reviews of alternative procedures submitted by industry for personnel electronic devices, security directives and emergency amendments, which yielded approximately 97 alternative procedures and 18 denial letters. The team accomplished all these projects through dedication, expertise of the regulations, and their commitment to safeguard the American people. The Team Core Values Award recipients are from Operations Support Security Policy and Industry Engagement Aviation Division. The team members are Belen Babonis, David Thomas, Savannah Harbaugh, Andrea Vera, and Anne-Marie Jenkins. Our next Core Value Award recipient has proven himself to be a valuable asset to the Intelligence and Analysis Office, Field Intelligence Division by demonstrating integrity, respect, and commitment towards TSA's field intelligence officers, stakeholders, and our U.S. government partners. As an intelligence analysis, he routinely provides extraordinary service to FIOs from headquarters to include intelligence analysis support, system access, and response to requests for information. He has come to be relied upon to serve as a bridge across INA divisions to execute significant initiatives that impact all of TSA. The individual Core Values Award recipient is Theodore Stonley from Operations Support, Intelligence, and Analysis. Our next recipients for the Core Values Award is a team that bravely recommended changing the agency's core values to Administrator David Pekoski. They advocated for more enduring values that would resonate with 4 generations of officers, that would inspire a shared vision with their teams, and it paid off. This team engages in a rigorous professional development program that includes the reading and analysis of several seminal leadership books. They are truly transformational leaders who have made a huge difference in the organ operations including the highest FEVS scores in their organization history. The Team Core Values Award recipients are Supervisory Transportation Security Officers from Security Operations in the state of Oregon. The team members are Angelique Alexander, Caitlin Arnold, Paul Bernard, Carl Biggs, Deborah Blaze, Mark Boomhauer, Julie Bowman, James Boyd III, David Butnick, Mark Burden, Joshua Butke, Jason Dauber, Barbara Davidson, Julian Ditzler, Kevin Duda, Matthew Hall, Christopher Harrington, John Harvey, Michael Hemingway, John Lewis, Mark Logue, Angela McLaughlin, Perry Morris, Henry Morton, Jerry Nichols, David Polani, Preston Pate, Giselle Potter, Derek Real, Shandy Sampson, Jose Sanchez Serna, Lee Shutt, Sally Swiger, Karen Stottenberg, Kim Ty Krakowski, Randy Thomas, David Triglia, Pamela Trotter, Christina Tooley, James Wesolowski, and Brian Woodman. Accepting the Core Values Award on behalf of the team are Kim Ty Krakowski and Pamela Trotter from the state of Oregon. Our next recipients of the Core Values Award put the critical security mission before their own needs during the largest wildfire in California's history, which was followed by a deadly mudslide. The Santa Barbara Municipal Airport's leadership team's top priority was to ensure the safety of their employees while keeping security operations going with a short staff. They were able to accomplish these tasks with no impact to security operations and are a shining example of how our men and women meet the mission of TSA every single day. The Team Core Values Award recipient is the entire Santa Barbara Airport team from Security Operations. Accepting this award on behalf of Santa Barbara Airport is Jeffrey Spack. Our next recipient of a Core Values Award is a diverse, multi-talented, passionate, and dedicated team. This team stood up a new program designed to assure that TSA is a workplace free from harassment, insisting on the highest standards of conduct, commitment to overseeing the proper and timely handling of harassment allegations, and respect for the right of TSA employees to work in an environment free from harassment so that they carry out TSA's mission every day. The team proved their contribution by driving outcomes such as reduction in EEO complaints and contributions to anti-harassment programs across DHS. The Team Core Values Award recipient is TSA Anti-Harassment Program Team from Enterprise Support, Human Capital. The team members are Anne Marie Arbatazzi, Emily Braxton, Sherelle Brown, Alvin Burns, Catherine Dreher, Judy Finkelstein, Harry Grimm III, Gina Kaczynski, Karen Nichols, Peter Ruffgarden, Stephen Sheridan, Angela Sims, Lorena Torres, Anthony Vincenzo, and Jan Wassel. We invite the team to the stage at this time. The next recipient of the Core Values Award is an individual who has exceptionally demonstrated integrity, respect, and commitment to the law enforcement Federal Air Marshal mission since joining the organization in 2002. He has served as a role model for his peers by successfully de-escalating 2 separate incidents while on international mission flights returning to the continental United States. One incident involved an intoxicated passenger and another concerning a suspicious passenger attempting to peek into the flight deck. In both cases, he conducted field interviews, resolved conflicts, reassured the flight crew, and provided timely notification to the TSA Operations Center. By doing so, he showed his respect for the law and the traveling public while also highlighting the value that he places on our relationships with our airline stakeholders. The individual Core Values Award recipient is Vincent Turner from LE FAMS. Our next recipient of the Core Values Award embodies the TSA core values of integrity, respect, and commitment on a daily basis. He cares about people, and in particular, the ones he leads and manages. In a fast-paced, complex business where it would be very easy to let the little things go, he makes the time to get to know his people and engage them frequently, not just about business, but about what's important to them personally. He maintains this interaction with both his frontline and leadership teams. Daily, he can be found out of his office and amongst the cubes laughing with his people or discussing how they enjoyed their weekend. The individual Core Values Award recipient is Mario Wilson from Enterprise Support Acquisition Program Management. Our next recipient of the Core Values Award consistently shows exceptional efforts to positively contribute to TSA South Dakota by promoting a culture built upon integrity and professionalism. His performance demonstrates a commitment to excellence in ensuring the protection of the nation's transportation systems. Specifically, he was instrumental in detecting threat items during an on-person field evaluation test in December 2017. Upon a passenger opting out of an advanced imaging technology scan, he performed the universal pat-down. After several attempts to clear a sensitive area were unsuccessful, he immediately contacted the male supervisor on duty. His professionalism and communication resulted in the proper resolution and identification of the item and further notification to the law enforcement officer for involvement. The individual Core Values Award recipient is Jonathan Young from Security Operations at the Rapid City Regional Airport. Please join me in congratulating all our Core Values Award recipients.
Good afternoon, honorees, esteemed colleagues, and distinguished guests. I am Sandra Masso, and it's my distinct pleasure and honor to recognize the dedicated men and women who have exemplified extraordinary achievements this year. Their excellence reflects the best of who we are as an agency. It is also my pleasure to partner with Janae as your co-MC today. We will now move on to our next category, Mission Focus Award. The Mission Focus Award recognizes individuals and/or teams for exhibiting a clear, specific, and measurable focus on the TSA mission. The work will have resulted in measurable improvements in transportation security and will include superior performance and results-driven contributions and/or outstanding commitment to the mission. Awardees make significant contributions to transportation security, law enforcement, stakeholder partnerships, protection, and security, and they demonstrate integrity and innovation while adding value to TSA and other agencies nationwide. Our first individual mission-focused award recipient has exhibited clear, specific, and measurable local and national accomplishments in the area of security effectiveness, resulting in improved threat detection while advancing the mission. He added, in closing, security gaps in our people, process, and technology through involvement in national work groups, operational testing, and evaluation of AT-CT and credential authentication technology. His superior leadership, data-driven analysis, and decision-making has advanced TSA's mission. Our first individual Mission Focus Award recipient is Kevin Bidwell from Security Operations. Our next recipients for the Mission Focus Awards is a team whose outstanding efforts of developing and delivering training under a compressed timeline for enhanced accessible property screening. The team collaborated with numerous offices within TSA, as well as with developers, contractors, and instructors to ensure the training was quickly implemented and deployed to the field to more than 445 airports, an enormous achievement for an organization of our size. The Team Mission Focus Award recipient is the Enhanced Accessible Property Screening Team from Enterprise Support, Training and Development. The team members are Robert Ehlers, Virginia Aldunate, Marcel Anderson, Jeffrey A. Edwards, Tammy Etheridge, Deborah Hajoff, Lance Lineball, Jennifer Malone, Paul Stevenson, Kirk Bonner, Daniel Bontranger, Greg Holland, Mark Kenyon, James White, and Natalie Williams. We invite the team to the stage at this time. Our next recipient of the Mission Focus Award is a key member of the National Transportation Vetting Center, NTVC, dedicated to the organization's mission and performance. His superior performance and attention to detail resulted in numerous changes and upgrades to the insider threat vetting process and has driven national policy changes in both vetted populations and derogatory data sets. His professional approach and results-oriented performance has led to effective and efficient solutions that have improved both systems performance and analyst performance at all levels. The individual Mission Focus Award recipient is Joseph Malmay from Operations Support, Intelligence and Analysis. Our next recipient of the Mission Focus Award is a team that implemented innovative and groundbreaking improvements to TSA's mission-critical passenger vetting platform. The team implemented the Configurable Automated Processing Engine, CAPE, software, which functions as a virtual passenger vetting assistant, processing new passenger records that significantly match existing records that were previously manually cleared by a human analyst. This name matching solution was one of TSA's top threat and risk reduction priorities for fiscal year 2018. The Team Mission Focus Award recipient is the Secure Flight Team from Enterprise Support, Information Technology. The team members are Eric Bent, Michael Bragg, Gilberto Correa, Vijayant Dankar, Bo Ding, Richard Dollins, David Dozak, Barbara Flanagan, Dennis Friedland, Joshua Gotcom, David Johnson, Hong Lin, Tim Lowe, Gail McCann, Marnie Milburn, Sharonda Mills, Courtney Moore, Hong Gwyn, Jerry Owens, Jason Putnam, Rebecca Robson, Robert Rowe, Ashish Shrestha, Janelle Sims, Derek Smith, Thomas Smith, Johnson Samaran, Andrew Sutherland, Cindy Tom, Michelle Thomas, William Thomas, Ryan Vincent, Yolanda Wang, James King, Richard Krunagel, Robert Lamar, Denise Runyon, Altin Shabanaj, John Shadare, Lejo Wong, Marco Zuniga. Accepting the Mission Focus Award on behalf of the Secure Flight Team are Vijayant Dankar, Andrew Sunderland, and Lijo Wong. If present, we also invite the other members of the team on stage at this time. Our next recipient of the Mission Focus Award developed over 80 baseball cards of known and suspected terrorists. This organic intelligence supported TSA and partner agencies at federal, state, and local levels. His direct support to frontline officers with actionable intelligence gives our workforce an edge in their mission to detect threats. His unswerving dedication inspires officers throughout the state of Tennessee and across TSA. The individual Mission Focus Award recipient is Mark Roberts from Security Operations in the state of Tennessee. And now, please join me in congratulating all of our Mission Focus Award recipients.
Our next award category is the Innovation Award. The Innovation Award recognizes individuals and/or teams serving as a positive force in identifying, crafting, promoting, and implementing creative solutions that have had a significant impact on how TSA operates locally and/or across the enterprise. Awardees demonstrate a sophisticated knowledge and implementation of innovation tools such as Idea Factory, Innovation Task Force, pilot studies, and other innovation resources available to TSA and DHS employees. Our first award recipients for the Innovation Award is a team that caused a major impact on scheduling practices at the local level at several LE-FAMS field offices, including Chicago, Atlanta, Baltimore, Los Angeles, and Newark, as well as on the national level. Significantly, at the local level, the team created systems, reports, and automation programs to ensure all Chicago airports could address the rising tide of special mission coverage assignments and gaps in mission scheduling practices. The Team Innovation Award recipient is the Chicago Field Office Operations Team from LE-FAMS. Accepting the Innovation Award on behalf of the Chicago Field Office team is Spencer Long. Our next Innovation Award recipient, conducting an average of 500-plus threat detection drills per month. This team has increased Chicago O'Hare International's airport's threat detection performance by 31% over the past year. An employee-developed team, employee-focused, employee-driven, this team is an example of what can be accomplished if employees are issued the FSD's intent and then empowered to be creative in their approach and provided the resources to achieve their goals. The Team Innovation Award recipient is the Chicago O'Hare International Airport, ORD, Threat Detection Team from Security Operations. We invite the team to the stage at this time. Our next recipient of the Innovation Award is a team that developed and implemented an innovative and completely redesigned firearms training program. They delivered the program with 100% success rates during fiscal year 2018, a statistic that had never been attained before. This innovative approach was risky in that no other law enforcement academy uses a system such as this to train officers. The group, enabled by management support, took a calculated risk to improve the overall quality and effectiveness of firearms training. And as a result, the TSA's Federal Air Marshal Service is once again leading the way in innovating firearms training in law enforcement. The Team Innovation Award recipient is the Firearms Training Section from our TSA Training Center, which is part of the Enterprise Support, Training, and Development. The team members are Michael Dosk, Darren Flynn, Daniel Kowal, Gary Decker, Harold Hawkins, Sheila Lazarus, Anthony Deramigi, Michael Keevil, and Darius Peoples. Accepting the Innovation Award on behalf of the Firearms Training Section team are Gary Decker and Daniel Kowal. However, if present, we invite the other members of the team on stage at this time. Our next recipients of the Innovation Award consists of a team that led a collaborative effort between the TSA Explosive Operations Branch and the National Explosive Detection Canine Team Program to develop the Residual Odor Material, or ORM, a non-detonable training tool. ROM was developed to support passenger screening canines during canine enhanced screening operations when it is difficult to obtain the assistance of a decoy role player. By providing consistent reinforcement, ROM has helped to sustain active search behavior in passenger screening canines, which is vital to effective explosive detection. The Team Innovation Award recipient is the Residual Odor Material Development Group from Security Operations. The team members are Michael Calabrese, Inho Cho, Peter Jones, Jose Prado, James Pruitt, and Darren Steed. We invite the team to the stage at this time. Our next recipient of the Innovation Award is a team that created a unique government-owned software suite for intelligence operations. This software suite allows information to be shared, collaborated on the stored in a method allowing rapid retrieval while utilizing CLAN. This capability shows accessibility nationwide from any location with CLAN access. This first-of-its-kind system satisfies several presidential, congressional, and department information sharing requirements with stakeholders and aviation partners. The system is fully operational and is used by TSA's INW Watch at headquarters in CSOC today. The Team Innovation Award recipient is the TSA Watch Log and Threat Event System Development Team from Operations Support, Intelligence, and Analysis. The team members are Gene Allen, Edward Bender, Andrea Castiglione, Eric Coleman, Christian Farrell, Jeffrey Felder, Christopher Fontenot, Jared Hill, Amanda Hook, Kenneth Neely, Kenneth Ross, Clint Roy, Chris Sidebottom, Rachel Smith, Zachary Starnes, Wayne Thomas, and Hugh Turner. We invite the team to the stage at this time. Please join me in congratulating all our Innovation Award recipients.
Our next award category is the Partnership Award. The Partnership Award recognizes teams with outstanding achievements in promoting security partnerships across transportation systems, advancing global transportation security standards, measurably improving training and development, and/or enabling strong partnerships across governments and industry that are integral to the success of our shared transportation security mission. Timeliness of information sharing, proper classification and sensitivity of the information, and an action-oriented focus are key factors in determining those who achieve excellence in this category. Our Partnership Award recipients today consist of a team that made a significant impact on the availability, utility, and value of shared aviation threat intelligence and information for aviation industry stakeholders in fiscal year 2018. The group made an immediate value-added impact by rapidly consolidating threat intelligence and information into an easily accessed portal, amplifying relevant information to a growing group of trusted, security-cleared, vetted aviation security partners. By creating a secure, trusted sharing and collaboration environment and then nurturing both group and individual partner relations through daily engagement, the team has achieved TSA Mission Partnership success. The Team Partnership Award recipient is the Aviation Domain Intelligence Integration and Analysis Cell from Operations Support, Intelligence and Analysis. The team members are Jessica Billingsley, Brian Bonner, Elizabeth Clarkson, Liam Connolly, Christy Hickey, Dan McCann, John Patch, Jason Robertson, Charles Stanley, Marcus Tur Rojas, Darnell Young, and Yanisa Brown. We invite the team to the stage at this time. Once again, please join me in congratulating our Partnership Award recipients.
Our next award category is the Program Management Excellence Award. The Program Management Excellence Award recognizes employees and/or teams for demonstrating superior leadership, data-driven analysis, and decision-making in acquisition and program management excellence through a significant contribution to TSA that exemplifies the agency's strategic priorities. Our first recipients for the Program Management Excellence Award is a team whose ability to successfully defend a TSA award decision led to a cost savings of approximately $22 million. This team overcame countless obstacles, issues, and roadblocks while under the strictest scrutiny of agency leadership, industry, and other internal and external stakeholders. The unwavering commitment and painstaking attention to detail of the team created a comprehensive agency record that was readily accessible to GAO. The outcome of TSA's meticulous documentation is TSA's successful defense of its award decision and GAO ruling in the agency's favor for all of the protest allegations. The Team Program Management Excellence Award recipient is the Information Technology Management, Performance Analysis, and Collaborative Technologies team from Enterprise Support, Contracting, and Procurement. The team members are Carl DeBernard, Tom Dubites, Mary Hallhem, Christian Jordan, John Callick Jr., Michael Kifney, Marlene Kratz, Mark Marauti, Kirsten O'Brien, Christopher Reams, Kimberly Shackelford, and Robert Votick. We invite the team to the stage at this time. Our next recipient of the Program Management Excellence Award is a team engaged in tireless work to ensure that starting in September 2018, any members who are within 6 months of their KTN expiration date will be able to renew their membership in the TSA PreCheck application program and to continue to receive TSA PreCheck. With over 7,000 daily enrollments and 7.1 million members to date, the TSA PreCheck application program is highly visible to the general public, and developing the process for renewals comprise much work from both technical and communication standpoints. The team's diligent efforts have established the TSA PreCheck application program as a shining model of customer service and security across TSA. The Team Program Management Excellence Award recipient is the TSA Pre-Renewals Project Team from Operations Support Intelligence and Analysis. The team members are David Baker, Rossi Elliott, Lisa Fisher, Don Hargett, Nicholas Lamont, Pablo Landreau, Donald Lombardo, Carolyn Mitchell, Jessica Tangatau, Barbara Timms, Nathan Soy, and Ann Walbridge. We invite the team to the stage at this time. Please join me in congratulating all of our Program Management Excellence Award recipients.
Our next award category is the Technology Achievement Award. The Technology Achievement Award recognizes accomplishments that improve the security of the U.S. transportation infrastructure and/or the efficiency of TSA through technology-rated activities and measurable impact. Our first recipient of the Technology Achievement Award is a team that completed a major upgrade of the physical security features of the Transportation Worker Identification Credential, TWIC, that is used at thousands of regulated maritime facilities and vessels throughout the U.S. and its territories. The project team was tasked with creating a new card design with enhanced security features in order for more security authentication and validation by regulated entities and stakeholders. Using a combination of new and innovative visual and tactical features, the team created a unique card design that resists counterfeiting, combines innovative overt and covert forensic elements, and a groundbreaking tactile feature which enables the new TWIC to enhance security at thousands of ports and vessels. The Team Technology Achievement Award recipient is the TWIC Next Generation Project Team from Operations Support, Intelligence and Analysis. The team members are Stephanie Hamilton, Thomas Hathaway, Daniel Sears, Drew Sindlinger, and Jeffrey Thorne. We invite the team to the stage at this time. Our next recipient of the Technology Achievement Award designed and developed the Fusion, named preprocessor to enhance secure flight using advanced data analytics to detect and correct inconsistencies with self-reported passenger data. This effort directly impacts the success of our counterterrorism mission without slowing down the vetting process. The program uses a variety of innovative techniques to identify known or suspected terrorists that pre-existing vetting searches were not capable of finding. The individual Technology Achievement Award recipient is Vijayant Dankar from Enterprise Support Information Technology. Once again, please join me in congratulating all of our Technology Achievement Award recipients.
Our next award category, Equal Employment Opportunity, Workforce, Diversity and Cultural Awareness Award. This award recognizes those who have distinguished themselves through activities that have exceptionally benefited workforce diversity and equal employment opportunity at TSA. This award demonstrates the value that agency management places on employees, supervisors, and managers who actively participate in these critical workforce programs and initiatives. Our first recipient of the Equal Employment Opportunity, Workforce Diversity and Cultural Awareness Award is a team whose efforts enabled TSA to host a successful forum on being an African American supporting the United States of America through military service. The forum included a distinguished panel of service members who shared their personal journeys and experiences facing adversity. The African American History Month team was efficient and ensured that the highly successful and moving event brought employees together to increase awareness of the remarkable sacrifices military personnel and their families make so that we can enjoy civil liberties as we know them today. The Team Equal Employment Opportunity, Workforce Diversity and Cultural Awareness Award recipient is the African American History Month event team from Enterprise Support Acquisition Program Management. We invite the team to the stage at this time. Our next recipient in this award category is an individual whose enthusiasm for diversity and inclusion has led him to advocate and educate all levels of intelligence and analysis workforce to understand and embrace diversity and inclusion. He has assisted the department with a cross-component event as well as an event here at TSA. He has also assisted INA with the Diversity Advisory Council and formed a diverse group of children to educate them on TSA's mission and provided assistance to a diverse group of the homeless community. The Individual Equal Employment Opportunity, Workforce Diversity and Cultural Awareness Award recipient is Adrian Ladd from Operations Support, Intelligence, and Analysis. Please join me in congratulating all our Equal Employment Opportunity, Workforce Diversity, and Cultural Awareness Award recipients.
Our next award category is the Commitment to Leadership Award. The Commitment to Leadership Award recognizes rising, mid-level, senior level, and executive leaders who make significant contributions in providing leadership and direction for federal transportation security. The individuals receiving this award act as role models for their peers as well as the staff at the local level while also exhibiting excellent leadership skills with a drive, focus, and determination to realize the vision and highest ideals of the agency. They foster a diverse, inclusive, and transparent work environment and cultivate a skilled workforce that is prepared and equipped to meet the challenges of tomorrow. Awardees embody a positive organizational culture and promote an entrepreneurial spirit and operational excellence. Our first recipient of the Commitment to Leadership Award is an employee who leads in a manner that can best be described by one of the principal values, servant leadership. Although there are many, two of our most successful accomplishments have been the expansion of the former Career Progression Program into a Career Development and Progression Program to include merit-based promotions, specialized technical career tracks, and managerial career tracks, as well as the development and implementation of two new policies supporting the first phase of the Transportation Security Officer Career Progression Strategic Initiative by blending the screening needs of security operations with HR management principles. This year's Commitment to Leadership Award recipient is Laura Griffin from Security Operations. Our next recipient of the Commitment to Leadership Award is an employee who has championed numerous developmental programs affecting change within their airport. Understanding the need for continuing growth and development for managers and leaders, she strives to promote leadership education to her team. She developed a training program for newly promoted STSOs that covers attendance-related issues and how to address the officers who do not demonstrate acceptable performance in that area. The program also covers discipline, incident report writing, training, interest-based conversation, role-playing, human resource issues, and access control event training. This year's Commitment to Leadership Award recipient is Missy Hartley from Security Operations at the Newark Liberty International Airport. Our next recipient of the Commitment to Leadership Award is an employee who merits selection for this award due to being at the center of Chicago O'Hare International Airport's tremendous transformation in its security mission, workplace culture, and organizational management. He has oversight over complex checkpoint and baggage screening operations and interfaces daily with 1,600 employees regarding all matters related to screening operations within 4 terminals, 54 checkpoints, and 14 separate baggage zones. During the transformation, to maintain the integrity of the shift bids, he implemented the Scheduling Exceptions Council, designed to review all officer scheduling exceptions to the shift schedule from a consistent perspective. He also organized professional development training sessions for STSOs and developed work groups to assist them in developing their leadership and management skill sets. This year's Commitment to Leadership Award recipient is Darrell Wilson from Security Operations at the Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Once again, please join me in congratulating all of our Commitment to Leadership Award recipients.
Our next award category is the Office of the Year Award. The Office of the Year Award recognizes the best of TSA with outstanding team achievements in key operations and mission support functions. The work will have resulted in measurable improvements, superior performance, notable innovation, and significant operational improvements in support of TSA's mission. Awardees demonstrate a clear commitment to improving workforce engagement and morale. The Office of the Year Award encompasses 3 subcategories: Airport of the Year, Federal Air Marshal Service FAM's Field Office of the Year, and Headquarters Office of the Year. Let's start with the Airport of the Year subcategory. Our first Office of the Year Award recipient is Boston Logan International Airport. Boston Logan instituted a comprehensive mentorship program to coach and develop the knowledge and skills of future leaders. The mentorship program at Boston Logan resulted in the cultivation of many different lines of communication with every level of the workforce, especially during an 8.9% increase in passenger volumes this July and 8.5% increase in August. As a result of Boston Logan's efforts, they had the best average peak wait times in the nation of 9.58 minutes. TSA Boston was selected as an innovation airport by the Innovation Task Force and became the second airport in the country to successfully deploy a computed tomography accessible property scanning system in the security checkpoint, hosted a technology demonstration of Vanderland automated screening lanes, and was at the forefront credential authentication technology pilot and operational assessment. Accepting the Airport of the Year Award on behalf of Boston Logan International Airport is FSD Bob Allison from Security Operations. Our next recipient of the Office of the Year Award is TSA Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Chicago O'Hare quickly reestablished its reputation for excellence in its mission performance, stakeholders relationships, and care for employees. A few of their accomplishments include the seamless merging of operations with Midway International Airport, a delicate process that was deftly managed by the leadership team and staff. ORD also served as a testing ground for various TSA pilot programs, including the Credential Authentication Technology Program, EAPS and ASLs, Atlas, Explosive Vulnerability Assessment, Human Performance Branch Study, TSO Career Progression, TSO Annual Proficiency Review, and Screening Equipment Asset Management System, providing invaluable feedback to TSA headquarters. ORD also holds an MCOP 100% completion rate for the 7th straight year. Disciplinary cases are dramatically down from 170 cases in fiscal year 2017 to 84 cases in fiscal year 2018. Accepting the Airport of the Year award on behalf of Chicago O'Hare International Airport is FSD Derek Starks, Security Operations. Our next recipient of the Airport of the Year Award is the Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport. DTW established a strategic planning work group early in the fiscal year to review the then current TSA strategic plan and define action items on how to implement the TSA goals and strategies. The working group was instrumental in defining actions for the DTW's hub and spoke team. Two goals in particular developed by the team were: one, reducing the HET-FET gap, which now reflects a gap of less than 1%, a significant achievement in the validation of local covert testing, and two, improving security effectiveness by developing a training program for newly appointed STSOs and LTSOs. Since the beginning of the fiscal year, every group of newly appointed STSOs and LTSOs have attended the newly developed training program. Accepting the Airport of the Year Award on behalf of Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport is AFSD for Mission Support, Salvatore Badalamenti, Security Operations. Our next subcategory is the Federal Air Marshal Service Field Office of the Year. Our FAMS Field Office of the Year award recipient is the LE-FAM Chicago Field Office, which has demonstrated measurable improvements in its SMC coverage rates, superior performance through numerous detainments, arrests, and life-saving efforts, notable innovation in its mission scheduling practices, and significant operational improvements that it shared with other field offices in support of TSA's mission. In terms of measurable improvements, although classified as mid-size field office, the LE-FAM Chicago Field Office was already the #1 LE-FAM's field office in terms of SMC coverage at the beginning of fiscal year 2018. And it managed to further elevate its contributions to transportation security by assuming even more SMC missions in response to the Quiet Skies initiative. This significant increase in SMC flight coverage, which is frequently on short notice, speaks volumes about their flexibility, professionalism, and dedication to the mission. Accepting the FAMS Field Office of the Year Award on behalf of the LE-FAM Chicago Field Office is Special Agent in Charge Freeman Jordan. Our next subcategory is our Headquarters Office of the Year Award. Our recipient of the Headquarters Office of the Year Award goes to Intelligence and Analysis. INA has the mission of identifying threats to the transportation system and is comprised of over 600 employees that are based out of 5 geographic locations and over 70 major airports across the country. INA provides 24/7 indications and warnings, all source intelligence analysis, and production transportation nexus, 24/7 recurrent vetting of more than 20 million transportation credential holders and more than 2 million airline passengers daily. As fiscal year 2018 came to a close, they identified over 7,500 known of suspected terrorists attempting to book an airline reservation. To stay ahead of the evolving threat, they worked towards modernizing transportation vetting during 2018 by establishing the enhanced vetting and discovery element, which capitalizes on current analytical capabilities and those identified through TSA's participation in the DHS Social Media Task Force. Accepting the Headquarters Office of the Year Award on behalf of Intelligence and Analysis within Operation Support is Assistant Administrator Tom Bush. Please join me in congratulating all Office of the Year Award recipients.
Now please direct your attention to the monitors. Please join us in honoring the late Curtis Bob Burns, last year's Employee of the Year.
Hey, my name's Bob Burns, otherwise known as Blogger Bob.
The U.S. Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, is making its mark on social media with a surprisingly popular Instagram account.
The account has more than 3 million likes.
A clickbait-worthy mix of confiscated security items and explosive detecting dogs.
Rolling Stone recently named the TSA with the 4th best Instagram account in the world.
It's a warm welcome from people that are happy to hear that the government is human.
Bob, a former musician and Gulf War vet, joined the TSA after 9/11.
We have YouTube, we have the blog, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, and through all these different channels, we try to communicate with the traveling public to not only put a human face on the agency, but to educate travelers before they get to the checkpoint. So not only does it make their life easier, it makes the TSO's job easier at the airport.
And where that foghorn blows, I will be coming home.
This Webby is carry-on approved.
Yeah, when the foghorn blows, I want to hear it.
Now, Blogger Bob is a father of 2, and he says his inspiration is corny dad humor.
Yep, I think that's a good one.
Okay, how's everybody feeling, by the way? Good? Okay. We will now begin the second portion of our awards presentation. Our next award category is the Employee of the Year Award. The Employee of the Year Award recognizes employees who work to achieve the highest level performance of their duties. The agency recognizes these employees' extraordinary contributions in promoting the transportation security mission and TSA strategy. Their contributions demonstrate the utmost integrity and professionalism while adding value to DHS, TSA, stakeholders, and to their position. For 2018, we have various subcategories for Employee of the Year. We will begin with our first TSO of the Year award. On October 1st, 2017, this TSO attended the Route 91 Harvest Festival in Las Vegas, Nevada, with her aunt when an active shooter scenario unfolded as concert-goers were targets of an individual with high-powered firearms. Remembering her run, hide, fight training, she found a spot to hide. Fortunately, she was not physically harmed by the shooter's bullets, but her aunt, an LA County sheriff, was. She stayed by her aunt's side until help arrived and supported her through multiple surgeries. Recently, she was selected to demonstrate CT machine capabilities to Administrator Pekoski, who also presented her with a TSA coin. This year's first TSO of the Year is Victoria Lavalette from Security Operations at the Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. Our next award recipient is an expert with our security screening procedures. His knowledge of the SOP is second to none. He has coached several new officers in 2018, providing them a deep understanding of how the SOP relates to an intelligence-driven, risk-based approach to aviation security. He embraces diversity and demonstrates exemplary interpersonal talent. As an example of his commitment, he returned early from sick leave after becoming aware that his team was drastically short-staffed. He also delayed a planned vacation so he could deploy to a Cat 4 airport for coverage when his team could not find an alternate. This year's next TSO of the Year is Michael Nelson from Security Operations at the Portland International Airport. Our next category is the Lead TSO of the Year award. Our next Employee Year of the Award recipient has exhibited exemplary achievement in the areas of leadership, customer satisfaction, and in her duties as an LTSO. Among her many daily accomplishments, she has provided tremendous courteous and professional service, all while ensuring the highest quality of protection, honor, and integrity to the traveling public, her coworkers, and stakeholders. She has established herself as a role model among her peers and has set the example as a model officer with leadership staff at RDU. This year's Lead TSO of the Year is Maxine Taylor from Security Operations at the Raleigh-Durham International Airport. Our next Employee of the Year recipient leads by example and embodies the core values of TSA. She steps up in difficult situations and takes on challenges to increase her knowledge. She is never defeated. She finds solutions. Her spirit of teamwork, volunteerism, dedication to mission, and engagement with her peers exemplify the qualities of an outstanding officer. This year's Lead TSO of the Year is Zulibeth Reyes Colon from Security Operations at Southwest Florida International Airport. Our next category is Supervisory TSO of the Year. This STSO is a dual-function STSO, proficient in both security checkpoint and checked baggage operations. She coordinates day-to-day activities for 170 uniformed officers related to screening functions. As the only government purchase card holder at her location, she ensured all required consumable screening supplies and property were procured and readily available to support security operations. She also directly supervised the Tucson Resource Center, TRC, responsible for all equipment and logistics intake, as well as management of property, uniforms, key control, consumable inventory, communications, property disposal, hazardous materials, and maintenance. This year's Supervisory TSO of the Year is Nancy Cushing from Security Operations at the Tucson International Airport. Our next STSO of the Year provides dedicated leadership to a large and complex workforce that interacts with almost 10,000 international traveling passengers daily. She led a local action planning team where she developed employee-focused programs to enhance the workplace environment. As a result of her efforts, participation in the 2018 FEVs increased by 116%. She was also selected to represent Region 3 at the TSA Academy to pilot the new ESSO course, providing objective feedback in the course design. This year's Supervisory TSO of the Year is Alma Telford from Security Operations at the Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Our next category is the Coordination Center Employee of the Year Award. This employee's work with the alert warning system has enabled the recall notification process to achieve an incredible 93% accountability rate of all employees in the state of Oregon within a 6-hour time frame. She is also in the process of creating the first peer support group. The peer support group will provide Team Oregon with a committed group of trained and experienced individuals to provide intervention techniques and critical incident management during crises. This year's Coordination Center Employee of the Year is Janine Cantwell from Security Operations at the Portland International Airport. Assistant Federal Security Director of the Year. Our next category is the Assistant FSD of the Year Award. This employee implemented monthly J-band coordination meetings, bringing together mid-level leaders from screening, mission support, and regulatory compliance to discuss challenges and develop joint solutions. He has implemented detailed process mapping of all administrative functions, documenting each step necessary for successful execution, from making job offers to processing shift trades, which ensures continuity of administrative functions during absences or extended vacancies. Lastly, he streamlined the recruitment, assessment, and hiring process, integral in hiring over 500 new TSOs in FY18, the most of any airport in the country. This year's Assistant Federal Security Director of the Year is Brian Bondock from Security Operations at the Los Angeles International Airport. Our next category is the Deputy FSD of the Year Award. This Deputy FSD continues to successfully strike a balance of meeting the needs of the workforce and advancing the administrator's intent. To accelerate action, he completed a 60-day rotation at TSA headquarters and developed a framework for a national promotion program to help TSOs advance through the ranks of STSO. The development of this framework maps out a path for officers and hiring officials to maintain continuity of advancement and helps the perception of TSA as a career agency. It is through this framework that retention of our most experienced officers is expected to be achieved. The program is scheduled for national rollout in fiscal year 19. This year's Deputy Federal Security Director is Martin Elam Jr. from Security Operations at the Los Angeles International Airport. Our next award category is the FSD of the Year Award. During Hurricane Harvey, this FSD's home began flooding on the second day of landfall. He and his wife lost their home, all their possessions, and had to be rescued by boat. On the third day of the storm, he secured a hotel room and immediately connected back with his leadership team to ensure all employees were accounted for. Humanitarian flights were supported, took care of the national deployment officers, ensured that fuel was being supplied so employees could travel to and from work, and made certain that food and water was available to impacted team members. He only missed one leadership conference call as he was being rescued from his flooded home at the time. He remained resolute, supported employees who lost their homes and all their possessions, providing calm leadership. This year's Federal Security Director of the Year is Jerry Phelan from Security Operations at the George Bush Intercontinental Airport. Our next category is the Canine Handler of the Year Award. She has been a beacon of outgoing professionalism and has carried on passion for the mission and the TSA Canine program. Recently, she and her canine companion, Fanny, supported canine expedited screening operations on numerous occasions, often deploying on very short notice and working under demanding high-volume circumstances. She also supported the Albany Veterans Day Parade, where she and Fanny conducted security sweeps on the parade route and actively patrolled the crowd, ensuring a safe and secure celebration honoring our nation's veterans. She and Fanny also supported the United States Navy during the Portland, Oregon Fleet Week, part of the Portland Rose Festival. This year's Canine Handler of the Year is Elisa Wilson, along with Fanny, from Security Operations at the Portland International Airport. A round of applause for Fanny. Our next category is the Inspector of the Year Award. This employee has demonstrated tremendous professionalism, collaborative spirit, knowledge, and dedication to ensure TSA's relationships with key stakeholders. He led projects that improved indirect air carriers training nationwide, identified and mitigated weaknesses in the secured area for a spoke airport, and worked with the AFSD law enforcement and DHS protective security advisors to bring IED and VBIED recognition training to 120 people throughout the state. In these accomplishments and in completing all his other varied duties, this individual has demonstrated his commitment to TSA values, mission, and vision in every respect. This year's Transportation Inspector of the Year is Charles Ochoa from Security Operations at the Indianapolis International Airport. Our next category is the Transportation Security Specialist Explosives of the Year Award. During 2018, this employee single-handedly managed and administered the FSD Evaluation Testing Program, personally conducting over 300 tests for the workforce. He also assisted and guided the threat detection team in conducting over 2,000 covert performance drills at Chicago O'Hare International Airport for over 1,600 officers with 0 deficiencies in the execution, which includes identifying and rehearsing role players. His efforts have resulted in a 57% increase in threat detection on national testing and a 66% increase in local FSD testing. He also implemented a recognition program to ensure officers who excel at mission-critical skills were publicly recognized for their achievements with on-the-spot awards of $250. The Transportation Security Specialist, Explosives of the Year, is Christopher Strahlman from Security Operations at the Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Our next category is the Federal Air Marshal of the Year Award. This FAM consistently demonstrates the highest standards of TSA. On June 28th, he provided CPR for a passenger on a flight from London to Chicago. The passenger suffered cardiac arrest while in flight, and he responded to the crew calling for assistance. He performed CPR and used an AED to revive the passenger. He then monitored the passenger for about 30 minutes until the flight landed in Chicago. The Federal Air Marshal of the Year is Tyson Randall from the LEFAM Chicago Field Office. Our next category is the Supervisory Air Marshal in Charge of the Year Award. This SAC manages and oversees 3 of TSA's national law enforcement and security programs within LEFAM's security services and assessments. He provided vision and leadership to 3 sections within SSA, Man Portable Air Defense System, MANPADS, Unit, Joint Vulnerability Assessments, JVA Unit, and the Insider Threat Program, ITP. His efforts and guidance have impacted the security effectiveness of all domestic commercial airports and U.S. last points of departure, LPD. He also partnered with TSA Global Strategies to provide the Government of India an overview of TSA's Insider Threat Program and supported GS in planning the delivery of the Insider Risk Management Workshop to Indian aviation officials. This year's Supervisory Air Marshal in Charge of the Year is Serge Potapov. Our next category is the Management Administrative or Professional of the Year Award. This employee is a communications specialist based in Boston and responsible for 15 of the agency's 28 CAT airports. Her primary goal for the year was to promote the TSA News employee app by traveling to nearly 24 airports to deliver tutorials about and sign employees up for the app, and in doing so shattered the public affairs goal of 10,000 downloads by helping to reach 18,000 by the end of last year and adding another 10,000 this year. She also volunteered to be the agency's lead in the TSA flag creation process, managing a crowdsourcing process that included 3 Idea Factory challenges over the course of 5 months. These were among the most active challenges in the history of the Idea Factory. This year's Management Administration or Professional of the Year is Megan Darkis from the Chief of Staff, Strategic Communications and Public Affairs. Our next category is the Passenger Support Specialist of the Year. This VIP Special Services Liaison has received several commendations from senior leadership in federal agencies outside of TSA and has been recognized by numerous special interest groups and foundations, including Dulles-owned USO Office, catering to veterans and their families. In FY 2018, he recovered a missing laptop for the U.S. Secret Service containing classified and valuable information ahead of an international mission. Similarly, he recovered a laptop containing classified information from a United Airlines flight and returned it to its owner at the Embassy of India. This year's Passenger Support Specialist of the Year is Douglas May from the Security Operations at the Washington Dulles International Airport. Our next employee has participated in numerous local Wounded Warrior events. When a veteran is flying home, it can be a scary time. This employee makes sure our veterans are treated well from the minute the plane lands. If they need assistance with transportation, baggage, instructions to local hotels, or just to hear the words, "Thank you for your service," he is there to help and assist. He is currently working on learning American Sign Language, which will achieve his goal of helping the hearing impaired have a smoother travel experience with TSA. This year's Passenger Support Specialist of the Year is Hamish Hinton from Security Operations at the Portland International Airport. Our next category is the Security Training Instructor of the Year Award. This individual provided leadership for the entire local instructor cadre. She covered all T3 train-the-trainer sessions, coordinated new hire OLC requirements, new hire travel to from the academy, SOP subject matter expertise for all 8 local airports, conducted statewide screening observations with workable recommendations for process improvement, and provided key administrative support to the training specialist. She has built a professional rapport with her fellow STIs, assistant training instructors, and officers in the field by exhibiting exemplary leadership and mentoring skills throughout the year, whether it be during the training sessions, site visits, or day-to-day networking. This year's Security Training Instructor of the Year is Lori Ficklin from the Security Operations at Bismarck Airport. Our next category is the Intelligence Analyst of the Year Award. This individual's keen analysis and superior communication skills have enabled him to present his assessments in clear and concise terms, greatly increasing internal and external stakeholders' understanding of a complex and multifaceted threat. His overall work with the United States intelligence community, the Federal Aviation Administration, and the DHS intelligence enterprise in providing his analysis of the dynamic threats to aviation interests at last point of departure airports and to airlines overseas has greatly aided TSA's risk-based efforts to enhance the safety of the traveling public. This year's Intelligence Analyst of the Year is Nathan Cook from Operations Support, Intelligence, and Analysis. Once again, please join me in congratulating all of our Employees of the Year Award recipients.
Our next category is the Unsung Hero Award. The Unsung Hero Award recognizes the non-supervisory employee who showcases an outstanding performance in administrative and technical support. Awardees make positive, behind-the-scenes contributions to the mission of the organization and agency that would not ordinarily be acknowledged by other type of formal awards. These are often people who are considered a quiet but steady presence in the organization and might otherwise go unrecognized. The important behind-the-scenes contributions are invaluable to successful mission accomplishments, resulting in a huge impact to the operations of the organization or to TSA. The individual takes initiative without being prompted and is reliable, persevering, and can be consistently counted on to get the job done. Our first Unsung Hero Award goes to an employee who is the only permanent party employee on station. Once asked by the FSD as to why he didn't chase the money as others did, he simply stated that he wanted to continue to serve his country as he had for 35 years in the United States Navy. A retired naval officer, he is a seasoned leader with experience, intelligence, and one who displays a daily consciousness focus on mission and people. He was our key officer in the deployment, installation, and training of the newly installed Smith 500 ETDs and rapid scan X-rays, but was also crucial in converting the ISN airport from old L3 X-ray and itemizer ETD technologies to the new, more up-to-date rapid scan X-ray and Smith ETD technologies. His caring, reliable, and supportive 100% effort and dedication to ISN and TSA is above reproach. This year's first Unsung Hero Award recipient is Daniel Karscallen from Security Operations at the Slaughland Field, Williston International Airport. Our next unsung hero is a general, an engineer, and contracting officers representative for 2 programs. Her dedicated and tireless efforts supporting 2 distinct programs and their program managers accounted for multiple successes and prevented multiple potential failures. The impact she has made to the division behind the scenes is immeasurable. For example, due to her analysis and diligence, the timeline was cut by nearly 2 years to deploy standard lanes and reduce testing costs by over $2 million. This year's next Unsung Hero Award recipient is Angela Matos Cruz from Enterprise Support Acquisition Program Management. Our next unsung hero recognized a gap in the division's ability to provide daily critical operational intelligence to TSA's administrator and his senior leadership team. Without hesitation, he unselfishly volunteered to take a collateral duty to provide direct technical and briefing support to INA's executive briefing team. INA's senior executive soon realized that he was easily performing duties quietly and professionally that spanned multiple offices across various intelligence disciplines and in many cases well above his pay grade, leaving a false impression that his shoes could easily be filled. This year's next Unsung Hero Award recipient is Bryant Tinker from the Operations Support Intelligence and Analysis. Please join me in congratulating all our Unsung Hero Award recipients.
We will now move on to the presentation of a few special awards. The first three awards were created with sacrifice, selflessness, and leadership in mind. The Public Service Award, the Geraldo Hernandez in the Line of Duty Award, and lastly, the Norman Y. Mineta Cornerstone Award. At this time, I'd like to ask the TSA Acting Deputy Administrator, Patricia Cogswell, to approach the podium.
I am here to present the Public Service Award. This award recognizes significant contributions by TSA employees that volunteer with nonprofit or community service organizations or activities. For this award, employees' contributions are expected to be direct, sustained, and have meaningful results for individuals or the larger public good. This year's recipient of the Public Service Award performs unprecedented community service outreach. He personally raised more than $20,000 for the charities he aids, and on multiple occasions has paid out of pocket to purchase dictionaries and school supplies for those in need. A former service member and veteran, he has staffed mobile clinics and assisted homeless and disabled veterans. He has also received a certificate of appreciation from the United Negro College Fund, as well as recognition from the National Trust for Historic Preservation, the Paralyzed Veterans of America, the Southern Poverty Law Center. He also serves as a member of the North Star Charter of the Smithsonian Institution, where he assists with fundraising for the upkeep of associated museums, research, and exhibits, which provide learning experiences related to American history, art, science, and culture. This year's Public Service Award goes to Marvin Allen from Operations Support, Office of Intelligence and Analysis.
I will now be presenting the Geraldo Hernandez in the Line of Duty Award. The Geraldo Hernandez in the Line of Duty Award recognizes an employee or team distinguishing themselves through bravery, valor, and heroism in the line of duty. Awardees demonstrate heroism and sacrifice during a high-risk, potentially life-threatening situation in order to save others and/or minimize dangerous impacts in either an on-duty or off-duty setting. This award also honors the memory of Transportation Security Officer Geraldo Hernandez, who was slain in the line of duty during a tragic shooting at Los Angeles International Airport on November 1st, 2013. This year's recipient is being recognized for his act of heroism and bravery on the night of October 21st, 2017. While headed to work, he noticed a wreckage on the road ahead of him, and he immediately sprang into action. There were 5 victims that were laying there in the middle of the desert road, injured from a car wreck. He reached for his phone to call 911, although he knew that the area had very poor cell phone reception. He found relief when he was able to get through to the medical examiner, and together they assessed the victims one by one. There was a young father of a 1-year-old boy who refused to show signs of life, even though CPR was performed on his still warm body for over 20 minutes. Cries and moans pierced the cold night air, sending his adrenaline pumping, his ears searching for any distant sounds of emergency vehicles, as he spent 45 minutes tending to the living with what he had hoped to be positive results. Emergency responders and helicopters arrived to transport the injured to the hospital, and our colleagues simply jumped back in his car and continued to work on the checkpoint. Because of his heroism and bravery, 3 of the individuals in that car wreck survived. Please join me in welcoming the 2018 Geraldo Hernandez in the Line of Duty Award recipient, Richard Benes, from Security Operations at the Portland International Airport.
Once again, I'd like to welcome the first TSA Administrator, Norman Y. Mineta, for the presentation of the Norman Y. Mineta Cornerstone Award.
Thank you very much, everybody. Administrator Pekoski, if you don't mind, I would like to exercise a point of personal privilege in tribute to all of the honorees today, but also to pay tribute to another leader, patriot, who has, the last several days, been talked about in terms of his leadership skills and patriotism to our great country. So I'd like to ask all of you to just take a moment of silence in tribute to President George Herbert Walker Bush. Thank you very much. It's hard to imagine that on November 20th, 2001, we had a ceremony right in this room when President George W. Bush signed the Transportation Security Act. It had 34 mandates in that legislation. And I said there's a 35th mandate, and that was the Mineta mandate that says we were going to meet all 34 mandates in that Transportation Security Act. And the first one we had to meet was on 1 December 2001. And the last one was December 31, 2002. Just out of curiosity, I'd like to see from a show of hands who came or was on board at the time right after the signing of that legislation and came on board as an employee of the Transportation Security Administration. Wow, look at the hands. Well, thank you very, very much for your service. And thanks to all of those who are being honored today. I want to also thank our interpreters today. Just watching them gives me a thrill, and to think that was it Mr. Hinton, who's now going to also expand his knowledge by becoming learning to be an interpreter. Now, all of us have been sitting here for about 2 hours, but you haven't been watching one thing. Our photographer, who's been getting up and down this chair, I mean, she's got knees that are really good. The other thing I noticed that when Ms. Maxwell brought up Fanny, you know, he was sort of looking around. But as soon as she got up on the chair, he knew where to look. Fanny knew where the camera was. But let me just say how proud I am to have been the Secretary of Transportation when we set up the Transportation Security Administration. In essentially 1 year, we went from 0 employees to 65,000. And we had the help of a lot of people in doing that. And to me, one of the interesting ones was how do we line people up at airport? Because we really had no knowledge about how to do that. And so I asked Disney to help us. And Disney sent us 3 people to help us establish a way of lining people up at the 429 commercial airports. And the third day, the lead person came to me and said, you know, once you've seen one airport, you've seen one airport. Because you couldn't take a cookie-cutter approach and say, okay, this is the plan we're going to use in Dallas, Chicago O'Hare, Resume Speed, Iowa. Every airport is different. And Disney ended up sending us 13 people on their own dime to help us look at all 429 commercial airports to help line people up at those airports. And so we've had a number of people to help us, not only employees of TSA, but also outside agencies, as well as outside individuals who stepped up to help us in the establishment of the Transportation Security Administration. And so today I'm very, very proud to be here to thank all of you for your tremendous service in helping the traveling public as they do their what they want to be doing, and that's traveling. So I'm here today to help Administrator Pekowski in the presentation of the Norman Y. Mineta Cornerstone Award. So, David?
Thank you, Secretary Mineta. The Norman Y. Mineta Cornerstone Award recognizes an employee or team showing exemplary leadership in helping TSA fulfill its mission despite adversity. The traveling public depends on TSA to be steady, caring, and professional. Exceptional leadership in transportation security can save lives, greatly mitigate the impacts of disaster, and lay a lasting cornerstone to a speedy recovery. This awardee reflects great credit upon TSA by markedly improving transportation security in the United States and significantly contributing to an overall improvement in workforce morale. On September 6, 2017, Hurricane Irma arrived on shore the U.S. Virgin Islands as a devastating Category 5 hurricane. Within hours of the storm passing, this individual deployed from San Juan to St. Thomas. He made contact with and established active partnerships with U.S. military command personnel, as well as Customs and Border Protection, air and marine transportation leadership. He assisted with the initial evacuation of TSA employees and family members who were injured or displaced by Hurricane Irma. 2 weeks later, while he was still working the recovery effort in the U.S. Virgin Islands, he was forced to evacuate for Hurricane Maria, another Category 5 storm. On September 20th, 2017, Hurricane Maria struck Puerto Rico. His own home lost power and water service. Undeterred and knowing that restoring the airport functions would be critical to the recovery of the island, he navigated falling trees, downed power lines, and flooded roadways to travel to the San Juan Luis Muñoz Marin Airport. In the days, weeks, and months that followed, he managed several complex operations, to include securing fuel resources for TSA employees, searching for missing TSA employees and family members, providing secure transportation for TSA personnel who distributed cash to hurricane-affected employees in Puerto Rico and St. Thomas, distributing food and water to personnel throughout the island, and directing many security operations throughout Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. He accomplished all of this despite being without water and power at his residence for more than several months and without his family, as they had evacuated to safety. He deserves a role model and sets a positive example for his staff and for all of TSA. This year's Norman Y. Mineta Cornerstone Award goes to Matthew O'Neill from Law Enforcement Federal Air Marshal Service.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Secretary, first and foremost, thank you so much for participating today, and thank you, sir, for lending your name to the Norman Y. Mineta Cornerstone Award. It is the highest award that TSA can present, and I can think of no better sponsor for that award than you, sir, and actually no better inaugural recipient than Matt. This is very meaningful to all of us, and I will tell you that we have the cornerstone that Secretary Mineta provided to TSA when TSA was first established. It's right here in front of the room. I invite all of you to come up and just read the words on that cornerstone. I see it every day as I come off the elevator and head to my office, and it inspires me. And I will tell you that, you know, I was a Coast Guard officer, as many of you know, before I came into TSA. Secretary Mineta was our service secretary, and in the Coast Guard, we loved Secretary Mineta. He was our service secretary. Well, you know, in TSA, not only is he our secretary, he's our founding secretary. And sir, your inspiration has always motivated me, and I know it motivates everyone at TSA, and I can just see the reaction to people as they walked up on stage and had the opportunity to shake your hand. And so you honor us by your presence here today, sir, and you also honor us certainly by your service to this great nation in many, many positions throughout the federal government. So, sir, thank you so much for being with us today. And there are just a couple of other things I'd like to say. First and foremost, what a great ceremony. And, you know, one of the things that I get to see as the administrator is I get to travel all around TSA, and I get to see firsthand the high quality of the 60,000 plus men and women that form this agency. And I get to see, and many of you get to see, the great diversity of mission that we perform. I mean, a lot of people see the TSA screeners, which is the prominent part of our organization, but there's a lot to this agency that supports the screening operation, that supports our elements of security, that ensures that we continue to be successful after 17 years of protecting America and travelers in our country. And you know, being here today, I think this venue is absolutely perfect. I had the benefit, the Secretary and Patty all had the benefit of actually looking out on the tarmac and seeing the aircraft go back and forth. And you know, whenever I see an aircraft take off and land, I think, hey, we all had a key part in that operation. And that's what I'd like all of you to think about today, and I'd like you to think about it every single day while you're working in TSA, is that the safety of this system and the security of this system is our responsibility, and we are totally committed to never having another 9/11 occur on our watch. And so congratulations to all the award recipients. It was a real honor for me to be able to provide you your recognition, to shake your hand, and to stand and have a photograph taken with all of you. You make us all proud. You represent this agency. And so, as we used to say in the military, Bravo Zulu, which stands for well done. A couple of other comments that if I could make. First, Cynthia, I think, got the most exercise today, as the Secretary mentioned. And so I was watching Cynthia go up and down and give us the thumbs up or the, we'll take another shot at it. But I wanted to thank Cynthia for her work and for her safety, because she's on a folding chair. So now we have a completely safe TSA Awards Ceremony. But Cynthia, thanks so much for what you do. And I'd also like to thank our two MCs, Janae and Sandra. I mean, in fact, why don't you both come up and get a round of applause, because come on up. Thank you. That is not an easy job, and they both did a superb job at it. And I would just mention that Janae is, those of you who went to the DHS Awards Ceremony about a month ago, Janae was the TSA representative who was also an MC. And I could tell that when Janae was MCing, she was in charge of when people were coming on stage and what they were going to receive. But it's really, I appreciate both of you standing up, and I think you both did an incredible job. I'd also like to thank our color guard. Our color guard really represents TSA especially well, and it's a lot of work, a lot of practice, and really you look awesome. You perform that very important job carrying the colors of our nation, the colors of our department, and now the colors of our agency. You know, one of the things that we did at the 9/11 ceremony, which the Secretary was also kind enough to participate in, was we digitally unfurled the TSA flag. And that was exciting, but there's nothing more exciting than digitally unfurling it than actually seeing it. And so if you look at the flag to the far right there, that is now the TSA flag, which as you look at it, you'll see a great deal of similarity to the DHS flag because we are part of the Department of Homeland Security. And it will also represent an eagle that protects Americans, and it has symbols for 9/11 and for our aviation and surface transportation missions and our ties with the Federal Air Marshal Service, which is an agency that existed prior to the establishment of the Transportation Security Administration. So I'm really proud of that flag. It's part of our identity now. And you will see our flag represented on the shoulder patches of all of our transportation security officers, on our coins, and certainly at any ceremony that we have. And so I thank everybody who had a role in that process. We did a really good job of crowdsourcing that to get the best ideas from around the nation, and I think it came out really great. The final thing I'd like to say is just to recognize all of the people that, while they didn't get an award, they recommended somebody for an award. I think that's really an important and very, very valuable function to perform. I mean, you know, I can remember when people would write award recommendations that I, for example, would eventually receive, or people I worked with would eventually receive. These are the folks that put time and emotional energy and thought to putting the awards and making them competitive for selection. So thank you to everyone throughout TSA from here and everywhere else in the United States and abroad for if you wrote a recommendation for doing that, because that allows us to make sure that the best of the best get recognized as we did today. So let me close by, again, thanking Secretary Mineta for his participation. Sir, you honor us always, and it's great to have you in our midst again as our founding secretary, and to thank all of you for participating, but most importantly, to thank all of our award recipients for the tremendous work they have done and how well they represent us and how well they protect passengers throughout our transportation system, whether it's in aviation or on the surface side. And I did notice, by the way, that it was actually a moment of excitement for me. I saw a plane go by that had TSA on the tail. And Mr. Secretary, I thought, oh my God, we finally got the plane. But it was for Trans-States Airlines. But it was exciting there for a couple of seconds until I read it. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody, and thanks to everyone who had a role in putting the ceremony together. I think it was tremendous. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the winners of this year's 2018 TSA Honorary Awards program. This concludes our program today.